So, hi everyone, lovely to see you all. I can see some lovely faces that I know very well, and I can also see people that I don't know. So one and all, welcome. It's lovely to be here, and what a lovely way to spend an hour or so in fantastic company and talking about how we can help ourselves and how we can empower ourselves during these quite strange times where we really need a strong immune system. So I'm going to talk you through the systematic kinesiology way in the whole person approach in boosting your immune system, because really that's where the answer lies to keeping buoyant and away from all kinds of illnesses. So within kinesiology, we talk about MCPE. Now, some of you will be familiar with that, although some of you won't be. So I'm just going to go through what that may mean. So within kinesiology, like I said, we look at the whole person. And the whole person is made up of many components, including the M for mental realm. So that's anything emotional, what we think, how we feel. I'll go into more about that in a minute. Then we've got the chemical realm. So, you know, that's our whole body's chemistry. Then we've got the physical realm, which is our physical self and how we're feeling. And then we've got the energetical realm, which is all our network of complex energies. And again, how we feel energetically. So let's start with M. M is a way of, you know, approaching the body with regards to the mind. So with the mind, we can be positive or we can be negative. We can have upsets, we can have traumas, we can have shocks, we can just have sort of just daily pressures of life really either pull us down, or we can choose to view things differently and not be pulled down by those things. Now, within systematic kinesiology, we've been talking about psychoneuroimmunology for a long time, as long as I can remember. I can remember my dad speaking of it decades ago, although it didn't have that fancy name. But let's break down the fancy name. Psycho meaning what you think, neuro meaning electrical, and immunology meaning your immune system. So science caught up with us, I think it was about 12, 15 years ago, where they said, do you know what? Everything you think either affects your immune system in a positive way or a negative way. And they still need to catch up a little bit, because within systematic kinesiology, we feel that it isn't just psychoneuroimmunology, it's psychoneuro every systemology, because negative thoughts and the stories that we give ourselves in our head, because we can talk ourselves, I think you'll all admit, we can talk ourselves down and we can talk ourselves up. And when we're talking ourselves up, we can boost our immune system. So that's a really fabulous reason to stay positive, particularly at the moment. So the mental realm can really help boost your immune, and it might be something that you hadn't thought of. So addressing stress is something that I'm going to talk about later on, because when we address our stress and manage our stress, then we can, like I say, boost our immune systems. So the next one is chemical, and under the chemical realm, that's, you know, it's the food we eat, the water we drink, anything that permeates our skin. It's very topical at the moment, but it's all the radiation that we're surrounded with. It's going to go in and affect us chemically. So what can we do? What can we do to help this realm of our bodies to, again, boost our immune systems? Well, number one is water. Most of us know that we should be drinking water, although a lot of us don't, or we forget, or maybe we don't like water. There's many reasons people don't drink it. If our bodies and our cells aren't hydrated, then they just can't work properly. So there's a lovely saying to remember, and again, we teach this within systematic kinesiology, is any body is only as healthy as the fluids running through it. So how do we keep the fluids in our body that are running through our body fluid and running well and flowing? Well, one of the ways to do that is to drink water. And particularly with everything that's going on at the moment, I would strongly recommend at least 2 litres of water, maybe a little bit more. You can boost it up in many ways. You could put lemon in it in the morning and have hot lemon. You could put some chlorophyll in it, which is a lovely tasting green drink that's very supportive for the immune system and cleansing. You could do herbal teas, things like that, if you don't like plain water, plus some other water if you can. Preferably not carbonated though. So let's get ourselves hydrated. Then I'm going to go through some supplementation that is really helpful for the immune system on the chemical level. So we're going to start with vitamin A, and vitamin A is a wonderful vitamin. It's generally the produces a red colour or the deep purple colour in fruits and vegetables, and even green. And the vitamin A helps the body fight infection and works in many, many remarkable ways. And one of the best ways to take beta carotene, you're going to take it as opposed to into your diet, is in the form of beta carotene. So beta carotene is like the body makes its own vitamin A known as retinol from the beta carotene. And that looks after the wet tissue of the body. So it keeps wet tissue wet within the body. So we all know how uncomfortable it is if our eyes get dry, or our ears get all crusty and dry, or our throats dry, and other areas of the body that get dry. It's not pleasant if they should be moist. Even our lips, you know, when they can crack, it's not pleasant. So we need to keep our wet tissue wet, and we can do that with water, and we can also help our bodies with vitamin A, which also supports all the mucous membranes in the body. So that's another way. Then I'm going to go on to vitamin B. Now, earlier I was talking about stress, and there's a lot of stress going on at the moment with the way things are. There's a lot of people at home and maybe without jobs, worrying about all kinds of things that we weren't worried about a couple of months ago. And we probably had enough already then. So this is just on top. So one of the ways we can help with kind of bust our stress is with B vitamins. And B vitamins can be very helpful in lowering stress. And within a good B complex, you're going to find B2, which is called riboflavin. And B2 is a particular B vitamin that boosts your immune system. So A, you're going to bust your stress, and B, with the B2, you're actually going to boost your immune with that vitamin B, which is wonderful. So those groups of supplements can really help with the Bs. So next one, vitamin C. Now, vitamin C has so many immune raising properties, I can't list them all. However, one in particular I would like to mention, and that is it encourages and supports the production of white blood cells. And white blood cells are the good guys that go and surround the pathogen or the toxin, and they start digesting it and eating it up and neutralizing it, so then it's not a problem for our bodies. And of course, if we can do that, we're not going to get sick. So plenty of vitamin C. Good old Linus Pauling many, many years ago said basically any disease can be combated with high doses of vitamin C. And he even talks about like 1 gram an hour. I'm not suggesting you all do that. I'm just throwing it out there because you can all take as little or as much vitamin C as you would like. Although generally the only side effect to too much vitamin C is bowel tolerance. So you just might get a bit loose and then you can cut back. So vitamin C is really, really going to help our immune systems. Okay, so next is the vitamin E. And vitamin E prevents oxidative stress, which is very handy because when we start fighting something off, we might not be really sick in bed, but when we start fighting things off, then we release free radicals, and free radicals cause our body damage. They're kind of random molecules without electrons, like the correct pairing of electrons. So what they do is they hang on, they jump onto a healthy cell and then wreck it, which none of us want. So we would love to disarm free radicals, and basically that is what antioxidants do. You've heard that term loads. I would think you're probably antioxidanted out hearing it. However, that's what we need to do. We really need to up those antioxidants so they can chuck out, they just go, there you go, chuck out all those electrons to those pesky free radicals that can come along and really damage our health. So vitamin E, a lot of supplements that you might find out there will be paired with selenium, which is also fabulous for boosting the immune system. So if you see a vitamin E with selenium product, that could also be even more of a boost. So that's vitamin E. We've then got zinc, which is a mineral, and it's a wonderful mineral to help us prevent infection and illness, but also is clever because if you take it when you are ill, it's going to shorten the duration and the severity of whatever you've got. So it's a very handy little friend to have in the cupboard, even if you don't take it every day. If you get sick, just go in there and help yourself to the zinc to, shorten and prevent symptoms becoming, worse and worse and worse. So zinc's a real good friend in this instant. Now, another area of immune health on the chemical realm, because we're still on the chemical realm, this is the longest one, by the way, is the digestive system. Now, that's often left out. It's like, oh, digestion, what's that got to do with immune? Well, it's actually half your immune system. And I know a lot of you know that, who've studied kinesiology. You might have some nutritionists about. So our immune system, so half of our immune system is our digestive system. So if that's low, then our immune system's going to be low. So another way to keep it all up is to support digestion. So how can we do that? Well, there's several ways we can do that, but let's just talk about probably one of the easiest ways at home that you can do this, and that is either cut down or avoid the main 4 offenders. The main 4 offenders that will be in most houses, which is wheat, milk, not dairy, milk, like a probiotic yogurt could be fantastic at this time. So wheat, milk, cow's milk, sugar, I'm not talking fruit, I'm talking processed sugars, and salt, and I'm talking table salt here, and salty foods, salty nuts, salty crisps, not Himalayan salt. So drastically cutting those down or out is going to really aid your digestion. It's going to take it like you're wearing a big backpack full of stones. Why would you? But hey ho, it's a good analogy. A big backpack full of stones, and you just take it off. You take it off and you think, oh, how lovely is that? I've got more energy. I can get up the stairs quicker. I can da 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 da. So it's a bit like that. When we cut down, or out, preferably completely out, you're going to be taking that great rucksack of stones off your body to enable the immune system to work better, for you to feel lighter, to feel more energy and start being lifted up. So that's a way that we can help straight away. Now, another way is to take a gentle sort of one in all. At the moment, none of us are able to go and see anyone. You're not able to go and see a kinesiologist. You're not able to go and get tested. We don't self-test because it's fraught with indiscrepancies and with tasks. We only keep to the straight and narrow of testing through with each other, through a wonderful system. So, but at the moment we can't do that. So what do we do? Well, one of the things that you could do is take a really gentle plant-based enzyme, because, you know, everyone's different, everyone's needs are different, and some might not be great with HCl, which is quite strong stomach acid. Others might need it. I'm not saying you don't need it. However, if we stick to a nice gentle plant-based enzyme, then all that will do is it's just going to break down the food into smaller chains, easier to digest for everyone. So it's kind of just a global one at the moment. But as soon as we're off lockdown, please get to your nearest kinesiologist and get tested to see which one you need. So that could possibly be helpful for now. And yeah, the last thing that I'd like to mention, there's loads of things for the immune system. I do understand that. I've chosen, I had a really good think about it. This isn't just random. I had a really good think about it. And I thought, what would be best to just be manageable for people to think, do you know what? I can take those few things and, you know, protect myself and enhance my immune system for anything out there. So yeah, probiotics. Again, there's many different companies, and as a kinesiologist, we would always test. However, there are some really good companies out there that sell probiotics for different ages. So if you've got kids, look at one for children, and you know, basically not your Actimel, not your little drinks in the morning, because they're mainly sugar. Which actually destroys the gut flora. So we want a really good, natural, organic type of probiotic that isn't in a sugary, sweet drink. Or like I said earlier, yogurt with lovely probiotics in, particularly goat's milk yogurt that you can get at a health food shop if it's open, or online if you can get a slot. Goat's milk yogurt is full of wonderful bacteria that the human body really responds well to, because out of all the animals, we are most like goats in our milk production. So get your goat's yogurt and get some probiotics down that way, maybe, if you don't want to take a supplement. Right, okay, next on the physical realm. So we're all these points are how to boost your immune system within the MCPE of systematic kinesiology. So onto the physical side, we need to keep moving. Yes, we can go for a half-an-hour walk or run or whatever, and I am, although it's not a very long period of time and it's quite contained. So, and I like to move more than that. Anyone who knows me, I'm a bit of a blowfly. So I'm keeping moving. I'm doing my exercises, which I'm going to show you in a minute, that anyone can do. It's fun. You can get the kids doing them. You can get on a little mini trampoline or a garden trampoline if you've got one. And why do we need to keep moving? Well, earlier, remember I mentioned any body is only as healthy as the fluids running through it. So how are those fluids going to run around your body with you sitting down and not running around? So, well, basically they're going to be impaired. So we need to keep moving, and I'm going to show you a really effective exercise that you actually don't even have to do for very long, that's going to pump your blood and your lymph around your body, which is incredibly important. Yes, we've got the heart to pump it round, but we do need to increase our heart rate because it's a muscle like anything else. And we also need to get the lymph moving around the body. So why do we need to get the lymph moving around our body? Because it's a big part of our immune systems. Again, our immune systems are everywhere and can be pulled down anywhere or raised anywhere. So the lymphatic system is a big part of your immune system. Why? Because it's taking in nutrients and clearing out toxins for your body in every tissue, in every cell, to keep it healthy. So if your lymph isn't moving around, it's not going in, it's not helping at all and taking toxins away because it's not getting into the cells. So very important to keep moving. Yeah, now interesting as well. I'm going to show you this exercise, although I'm also going to mention exercises to do for certain blood groups. This is something we cover on our foundation course because it's quite important that we do the right kind of exercise for who we are. Now, often you are drawn to the right exercise for your blood group. I'm not. I'm drawn to walking, yoga, Pilates, swimming, which is blood group A. I'm O, and I need to thrash it out in the gym. I need to get cardio. I need big, heavy exercise. Okay. Some people love it. I don't. So I choose to do what I love to do. So when I go swimming, I don't just swim like that. I'm thrashing it down the, what are they called? Lanes. I'm thrashing it down the lane, going as fast as I can. But if I was A, I'd be pootling along, doing some nice little breaststroke, quiet as anything, not counting my laps, you know, that kind of thing. And when I get on the rebound, I whack the music up and I go for it. I do my cross crawl and I'm increasing my heart rate, getting hot for at least 10, 12 minutes. 12 is the perfect number. But you can do it, build up to that, do it for 1, 2 minutes, whatever. So I'm going to show you the exercise now that we're going to do to boost our lymphatic flow, and in turn boosts our immune system. So I'm just going to alter that so you can see me standing up. Oh, no, that's no good. I'm going to need to see my bottom half, I think. Okay, so what is the exercise? My hands are going to cross over the midline of the body. Let me just move that up a little bit. And I'm going to be lifting my leg up like this and touching the opposite knee. And then when you're comfortable with that, and only if you're comfortable with that, you can go up to touch the inside of the ankle, which really gets the lymph pumping. I've got the sacrum and my neck pumping lovely cerebrospinal fluid up and down my spine, into my brain. I'm going to start feeling refreshed. I'm going to start thinking better. Okay? Or stick with the knee if you prefer. We can also turn around. And let me just check you can see. We can do the back points like this. That can be a little bit more tricky, but once you get used to it, very helpful. And again, you can have fun with it. You can get on the mini trampoline, or like I said, the trampoline outside. So that's really going to help. So blood group A and AB, it would also be helpful for you to walk, cycle, yoga, Pilates, and swim, which we can't do at the moment, so let's forget swim. Those things. And for O, it's cardio. So you can imagine, you know, 12 minutes on my rebounder with that. I've done a really good cardio workout. And for blood group B, it is cardio and, believe it or not, being creative. You lucky bees. You blood group Bs, all you got to do is paint a picture or do a puzzle, or create something artistic for work, or do some planning, and you're boosting your immune system and your metabolism. You lucky things. And out of all the blood groups, Bs can eat everything. So if you're sitting there as a blood group B, you can be smug because you're fantastic. And very lucky. Okay, so that's a bit more on the blood groups, and you can personalize your workout routine to your blood group. So if you're A or B, you won't be getting on your well, you can still get on your rebound, it's very good too, but you don't need to go get sort of blood and guts into exercise like we do. Okay, right, now on to the energetical side, which is rather topical. So energetical side, what is that? Well, it's our intricate energies of our body, delicate energies of our body. So what are they? Well, we've all got an aura, and that's been proved scientifically now. When I was talking about it a few decades ago, it was like, really? You know, what's all that about? But we have a wonderful aura that can now be photographed, and I've had mine done many times. I absolutely love it. And it's always bang on. When I had a year off having my third child, I went along to you know, a function, and they had a camera there, and I thought, oh, you know, I'll have my aura photographed again. And there it was, totally different. It'd always been, oh, you know, I can tell that you're, I mean, I would never ever say this, by the way, but oh, you're in some kind of healing therapy kind of profession. And we can see that you're a teacher, and we can see this, and we can, and they were absolutely spot on. I had a year off, went and had my aura, had a look at, it was completely different colors. And they said, okay, you're planning, you're in your head, you're in your head a lot and planning and da-da. They didn't say anything about being a practitioner or helping people, nothing. Because at that time I wasn't, and I was making lots of plans. So again, they were spot on. So we've got our aura. So we've got our aura. We've also got other energies within our aura. We've got our chakras, which is chicken and egg. Do they form our glands and organs, or does the energy come from there? Well, personally, it's a two-way thing, and that's what we teach. How we feel inside emanates out, and what is out there can come in, and we can really help to balance those energies with systematic kinesiology, and doing everything that we're talking about. Changing your mindset affects your auras. Taking supplements will affect your auras. Doing exercises that will affect your auras, and what you do energetically will affect your auras. So we're talking about all the 4 different realms having a huge effect on each other. So we've also got 8 energies and cloacal energies, which might be double Dutch to some of you out there. So I'm not going to go into those energies. However, they're there. What I will say is about meridian energies, because probably a lot of you have heard of acupuncture and having needles stuck into places in your body. Well, they stick them into energy lines called meridians, and that can be super beneficial for all kinds of health problems. And that's literally energetic medicine, just like homeopathy is. So we've got so many different things that can help us energetically. Now, at this time, a really good tip, immune tip for you now, is to reduce your time on devices, on your phones, watching the TV. Just reduce. You see, at the moment, I think, unfortunately, due to what's happening in the world, people are drawn to their devices and their phones and everything even more. I'm exactly the same. I have to really say, Claire, stop, put that phone down, get off that device, because I'm working Normally I'm a people's girl, I'm in the clinic, I'm nowhere near devices. Or if I am, it's like literally an hour or two a day. And that's usually work, because we've got a lovely kinesiology community that I basically I'm on there helping everyone with their questions and their clients and their own health. So mainly it's that, but it's still a lot. So, you know, just by cutting down, I'm not saying don't go on them, it's impossible these days. I don't claim to say, oh, get off your devices, you know, but please be mindful to cut them down, particularly at the moment. Now, I'm not going to go into the politics of 5G, although it is happening, it is there, and it is becoming, the radiation impact of 5G is going to affect us big time. People near masts that are going up recently, you know, they're suffering from feeling sick. Well, radiation sickness is a known side effect of having too much radiation in our bodies. So we're being bombarded by more and more and more and more and more radiation. So, and you know, if you stand by near a 5G mast, it's the equivalent kind of radiation that we're talking about, microwaves and things like that. So what can we do? We're not going to get all doom and gloom. What we're going to do is we're going to be positive, and we are absolutely going to take care of ourselves and feel empowered by doing so. So how can you help yourself other than cut down time, which I know is tricky, particularly at the moment? So what can we do? We can get those EMFs shields stuck onto our phones. So EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, that's what they are. That's where these frequencies, the radiations are permeating into our bodies and causing havoc. So how can we stop it? Well, we can inhibit it, and we can certainly support our bodies into detoxing radiation. So how do we do that? Well, I'm not going to go into all that now because I'm going to take up the whole time. What I would steer you towards is, I wrote a blog quite a while ago, actually, even before all this, on 5G and 5G protection. So if you'd like to go on to the Academy of Systematic Kinesiology's website and just click on blogs and scroll down, you'll find the 5G protection, and all the supplements are listed there that you can take and things that you can do to protect yourself. So there's two things that I'm going to talk about now, and that is the EMF protectors. You can buy them anywhere on the internet, and they're little discs that are proven to drastically reduce the radiation on your devices. I strongly recommend you all get one and whack one on every single day. They're on my laptops, they're on my phones, they're on my TVs, they're everywhere, all around the house. Plus, I've got a big box in the middle of my house, EMF field, gobbling it all up. I like to think of it like a Ghostbuster pack. It was expensive, so, you know, look into it, and I'm more than happy at the end I know a lot of you are from Facebook as well, so I will put on the kinesiology community and on Facebook things that I recommend, if that's helpful, so that you don't have to remember it all. I'll just bung some things on there that I would recommend, and then you go from there. But these lovely little dots or discs can be put anywhere, so I would highly recommend that. I'd also recommend looking at some kind of supplement that contains iodine, because iodine is one of the only things that successfully detoxes the body of radiation. So again, it's in my blog if you want to read more about it, but definitely things like kelp, things like black walnut. They're really high in natural iodine and safe to take. So have a little look around, make sure you stay safe, because iodine in lots of levels can be toxic. Well, we don't want that, but if you stick to a supplement, you stick what they say on the pot, you can't go wrong. Right, lovely. So finally, what I am going to give you now is a couple of techniques, which I promised. I've given you lots of information that to help you with your immune systems in a whole person kind of way, which is the way we work with systematic kinesiology. We don't leave anything out. Everything's helped. Every area of the body is not ignored. And often when clients say, oh, I know it sounds silly, but it's this and it might be that, they bang on usually. So you be empowered by that. You do know what's going on in your body. You're the best person to know what's going on in your body. And even if you don't know what's going on in your body, you do know how you feel and you do know your symptoms. And if you go and see a good systematic kinesiologist, they will unravel that maybe tangled ball of string for you with your health and iron it out and be able to help. So I'm going to give you a few little kinesiology tips that are taught in our courses that you can do now at home completely safely to boost your immune system. So the first one we're going to do is we are going to find our sternum, which is our breastbone. Okay, we're going to find our breastbone and we're going to cut. These nodules here are the end of my collarbone, and we're going to come down in the center slightly to the left, so it's kind of a third down and slightly to the left. That's where we're going. Don't worry too much, you can't go wrong with it because we're going to be tapping a big area. Now behind here is your thymus gland, and your thymus gland is all wrapped up with your immunity and producing T cells and keeping your immune system strong. So we're going to give it a little wake-up call, and we're going to tap in the rhythm of the waltz to nourish and wake up our thymus and stimulate it into working nicely for us to boost our immune system. So as you can hear, I'm going to be quiet now so you can hear the rhythm. Lovely, like that. And you can move around as well. You can move around in a circle just in case you think, oh, am I getting the right spot? Don't worry, just move around. You might even be able to feel the right spot because sometimes it can be a little more tender than the other areas. So give that a go. So that's tip number one. We're going to be tapping our thymus gland for our immune systems. Okay, next tip. Where we've just been tapping, we're going to hold. We're going to hold with 3 fingers. And again, if you're not sure, do that. If you're not quite sure where the point is, you can't go wrong, just like that. And the other hand, so we're going to have one hand on our thymus like that, and the other hand, 3 fingers along the top of our cheekbone, like this. And what this does is it sends blood to our thymus gland. Well, how about that then? Well, by doing this, your body will send extra blood to your thymus gland to plump it up because it can get a bit like a shriveled prune and it should be nice and plump like a plum. So we can hold these, like if I was wearing glasses, that's where my glasses would be. 3 fingers sitting on the cheekbone outside the edge of the eye, and a hand here over our thymus. We're going to do that. And then we're going to swap over. You can either swap hands or swap either hand. Then we're going to do the same the other side. Hold over the thymus and along our cheek, the top of our cheekbone like this, which will send blood to our thymus gland and which is then giving it nutrients and oxygen to work better straight away. How long do you have to do it for? Not very long. Minute. More if you've got more time. I think we might be holding them for a bit longer at the moment with our time scales. But when we're back to our crazy busy life, which I hope that we don't, or I hope we all make some changes and take stock from this time. However, things will get busy again. So again, even if you hold it for 30 seconds, you are going to have an immune boost by getting lovely fresh blood with oxygen and nutrients into your thymus gland. Lovely. Next tip. So you've got your cross crawl, you've got your thymus tap and your thymus hold. And what we're going to do now is we're going to, I'm going to show you an area to rub. Now this area is going to get lymphatic flow to your thymus and your immune system. So we've got some really good tools here, and it'd be really great for you to do them and feel the difference. And don't forget, even if you don't feel any difference, you are boosting your immune system, so it can be preventative. Okay, so final tip is we're going down here. So it is between ribs 5 and 6 on the right hand side. So it's under the pectoral muscles for a guy and under the line of the breast for a lady. So for a lady, it's quite easy because you can go to where your bra is in the middle, or you might want to just go underneath like that. So I'm here underneath like that. I'm right there. So right underneath the breast or the pectoral muscles, not on the sternum, slightly to the right of the sternum, and you're going to rub like that. Okay, so I'm just rubbing my skin. It's quite firm. I'll do it over so you can see. I'm doing this and I'm rubbing it quite firmly. And really what I'd like you to do is find the sore spot, because you may find a sore spot if your immune's a bit low. So move around the area, find a sore spot and rub it firmly, even if it's a bit ouch. Go to your pain tolerance and just rub it until the ouch gets less. And you can do that every day, every other day, once, twice a week, whatever you want to do to get lymph flow to your thymus and your immune system. So we've covered a lot in our 45 minutes. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Emma, if maybe Emma would like to unmute herself. And
yeah, I've just done that. Hi Claire, thanks for all that.
Hi.
Okay, so we'll just invite you to any questions that you have that you want to ask Claire. We invite you to put them in the chat, and you know, perhaps if there's not too many, I can unmute you and you can ask it yourself. If you say, hey, I've got a question, just put it in the chat and I can unmute you. There was a question that said, will you return to the Columbia Hotel next year, from Anita, and Mary answered saying that there's another venue as the hotel is going into a full refurb. So I didn't know whether it was a question about, you know, whether you're doing classes in person again next year, or whether it was specifically about the Columbia Hotel.
Right, I'll answer both. Yes, we are doing classes. We start our classes in September again, although it is in a different venue. And again, due to what's happening, I have no idea whether we're going back to the Columbia Hotel. I would love to go back to the Columbia Hotel. I've been there donkey's years. It's like a second home. I would absolutely love to. The truthful answer is I have no idea whether we will be going back. Firstly, because of what's going on, their refurb was supposed to start in February, then it was postponed to May, now it's postponed to August. So they're not going to be finished probably by September 21. So very unlikely, even if we do go back to the Columbia at some point, which I hope we do, doubt whether it will be next year.
Okay, thanks. So someone was saying the angle of Lewis on right or left now?
Yes, yeah, angle of Louis is on the left. I think because I'm doing left and I'm rubbing on the angle of Louis is on the left and the point to rub is on the right. It's just that it might look, I don't know whether the camera swaps it over, but I'm on my right here and I'm on my left here.
Okay.
So yeah, angle of Louis, for those of you who are kinesiologists, yes, that's exactly where you're tapping, and it's slightly to the left. Tiny bit to the left, but have a good tap all the way around, because you probably will find a tender spot.
Okay, so Lucy and Ruan said, what about exercises for AB blood types?
AB, oh, I'm sorry, I thought I said A and AB together. It's the same for A, so it's all gentle.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yoga, yeah, maybe she just misheard, or I skipped over it too quickly. Yeah, it's all very gentle, you lucky girl.
And Lucy says, are you happy for us to share the lung balance to support people with the virus?
Yeah, I'm happy to share sharing any balance to support people with the virus. You know, you can, you know, if they're not kinesiologists, they're not going to be able to do the testing, but they can certainly do the rubbing. So absolutely pass the techniques on. Yeah, please do share them.
Let's have a look. How long would approximately would you thymus tap, and how long for the cross crawl exercises?
Right. Okay, so thymus tap, there's no rules really. You can do it for as little as long as you want. I would say hopefully around at least a minute. Yeah, 30 seconds a minute each time. You could do, instead of doing one great long session of thymus tapping, I wouldn't suggest you do it for like 5 minutes, but you know, a minute or two, 30 seconds a minute, 2 minutes, then stop and do a bit later. So you could do 3 or 4 lots of 30 seconds. So, you know, there's no hard and fast rules. And it's the same with cross crawl, really. You can get up and do a minute, or you can get up and do 3 minutes. I would suggest for those of you, particularly blood group O, to really get up there and get up to 12 minutes, or anyone in fact, because a 12-minute exercise, doubling your heart rate is fantastic for your heart, your lymph, everything. So you could definitely do that. Although I think you might need to build up to it, because cross crawl looks very easy, but when you start doing it, particularly on a rebounder, you can feel it is quite a strenuous exercise.
Thanks. So as from Noreen, you talk about fluids in the body. So if a person is anemic, e.g. hemoglobin estimation is low, what advice would you give?
Sorry, could you repeat that question?
It says, yeah.
It's in the body, yeah.
Fluids in the body. So if a person is anemic, i.e. hemoglobin estimation is low, what advice would you give?
Well, water, and I would suggest chlorophyll. Chlorophyll can really help with anemia. It's not iron, but the body thinks it is. It's plant blood. Chlorophyll is the green stuff that's moving through the veins of the leaf. So homeopathically, the body recognizes it as blood. It's very, very similar. The only difference is with blood, the central atom is iron, and with chlorophyll, the central atom is magnesium. However, the body grabs it and cleanses and enriches its own blood. So without testing, it's a very safe way to help anemia, or possibly help, because everyone's different. But certainly keeping hydrated and adding chlorophyll in could really help. And some vitamin C to help the absorption of iron as well.
Great, thanks. So a couple of questions are saying, is there a plant-based enzyme that you would suggest or recommend?
Yes, there is. There's a really lovely, there's several, but I guess the probably one size fits all would be proactazyme. And what I will do is, again, for you, I'm going to put a couple of things. The people in the community will know where to get, what to get and where to get them. The people that aren't, you know, haven't been involved with kinesiology may not know where or how to get them, or the best way to get them. I can pop that information on to Facebook for you.
Okay, great. So someone said Do you think vitamin D is important for the immune? But I think you already covered that.
I didn't cover vitamin D, and yes, it is very important. There are so many things that are important for the immune system. I couldn't cover them all, but vitamin D is absolutely fabulous for the immune system. And also, if we're not getting enough sunlight and penetrative sun, then it's always fantastic to take through the winter anyway. So yes, I would absolutely recommend that.
Okay. So can you give descriptions of how we can tell what blood groups we might belong to without testing?
I reckon that question's come from someone I've trained.
It comes from
Yes.
Noreen.
Yes, yeah. It's okay. So A's generally, this is all generally, have round faces, and as you can see, I have not got a round face. I have a well, what is it? Oval, I guess. Yeah, oval faces is for blood group O. These are general signs, please. It's not always the case. So O's generally have oval faces, A's generally have round faces, B's generally have long faces, long, slim faces. And B's are a mixture. B's are tricky to tell facially. The others are much easier to tell facially, because B's can be an amalgamation of all those. Skin-wise, so if you look at your skin like that, I don't know whether you can see mine, very veiny. Can you see that? Oh, lovely. Loads of visible veins. That's classic O. Whereas if you have a look at a lovely blood group A or AB, generally you'll do that and you won't see any blue veins at all. You'll just have nice thick skin, which we would all love. And often it is a little bit freckly as well with A's and ABs. They tend to have a little bit freckly skin. So that's about as far as I'm going to go. There are body shapes and everything, but it just takes too long to answer that question. But there's some facial and skin recognition. So O's are very veiny like me, thinner skin, look, whereas someone with A blood would have none of that and lovely. They'd go like that and they wouldn't wobble like me. So yeah, thick skin for A's and ABs, bit freckly. And again, B's, they're real minxes. They hide the B's. That's because they're so smug because they can eat everything. And they're generally very healthy and robust.
Okay, thanks. What can help for a strong headache, migraine?
What can help for a strong headache? Drinking water, very much so. Getting off your devices, taking your antioxidants. Here we go again. And I did give this health tip a while back, a couple of months ago. There's a headache point that you can rub, which is called gallbladder 31, and it's where your middle finger drops naturally. Okay, so put your hands down to the side of your leg where your middle finger drops naturally, and then you give that a really good rub. And if it's not sore, move around and find the sore bit. And again, other side, start rubbing that acupuncture point to help relieve a headache or even a migraine.
Okay.
So that's just a little tip that you could do. And often if it's on the right side, the right gallbladder 41 on the right leg will be more sore, or if it's mainly on the left, it will be the left leg that's mainly sore, but it could be either. But give it a go. There's lots of things for headaches. There's many, many different reasons why you would get migraine. Sugar is another big one. I would say sugar more than any of the other 4 offending foods. Wheat can give headaches, although I've found sugar gives more, particularly migraines as well.
So this is from Dee, and she's asking, at the moment, to protect people from the virus, so the vitamins and minerals that you've talked about, is there a recommended dosage? So how much vitamin C, D3, zinc, A, etc. would you recommend for most people to take at the moment to protect from the virus?
Okay, again, this is general, but 3 to 4 grams of vitamin C, 15 to 30 grams of zinc, beta carotene I take in the form of Zambroza, so a good shot of Zambroza, which I will put on the link where to get these things. And D3, I would suggest going with the highest amount on the pot.
Okay, great. Okay, so what can you do with a sore throat which has been consistent on and off for a month?
Right, sore throat that's been consistent on and off for a month. Again, water, I'm getting boring here. sipping water, honey and lemon, which is a lovely way to soothe the sore throat naturally. Another way is the Zambroza that I just mentioned, which is an antioxidant drink packed with beta carotene that really helps with the throat. But if you haven't got that or don't want to get it, you can gargle with salt water. Very helpful for a sore throat. Don't drink the water, just gargle it and spit it out, and do that on regular intervals. Cut down on sugar and milk, because sugar and milk are the main things that keep a throat going, or could possibly start a throat, but keep a throat going. So yeah, cut down sugar, cut down milk, or stop milk, really. Gargle with salt water, Zambroza, and sipping water and honey and lemon. And again, up vitamin C.
Okay, thank you. So this is from Pauline, who I believe is a kinesiologist.
Yay! Hi, Pauline. Hi, Dee as well. I meant to say hi, Dee before.
Oh, there she is, yeah.
Yeah.
And how can we recommend nutrition if we can't self-test?
How do we recommend nutrition if we can't self-test?
If we can't test, yeah.
We go with what the body needs to boost your immune. We offer good supplements. I don't suggest for 1 minute people buy supermarket supplements. There's actually nothing in them. They're often synthetic. They don't really do anything. If you're not feeling a difference from your supplements, if you're not feeling any difference from taking them, chances are they're not doing you much good at all. With, as everyone who's involved with kinesiology, I know there's lots of people that aren't involved with kinesiology on this webinar, but those of you who are involved, we know that we don't have to guess. We can test and find out exactly, we can give bespoke nutrition. During this time, we're unable to. So I'm going to provide the best nutrients I can from the reputable companies that are really potent and safe and good with their dosage. They're not, just like putting tiny amounts. So that's all we can do at the moment.
Okay, great. Would a multivitamin like Supersupplemental and Minerals cover most nutritional needs?
That would be a fabulous place to start. Yeah, that would be really good to recommend. It's a really good multi to recommend to people, as is, it was actually launched yesterday. Mine's in the post. What's it called? Antiox Immune, would you believe? Antiox Immune. And I looked at the ingredients. I thought, that's very good. I'm going to be taking that with the kids. I personally, I'm not recommending everyone else does that. I take a lot of things and quite high doses because I've been doing that for a long time. My body's used to it and I thrive on it. Everyone's different. But that's got lycopene in it, which is full of the carotenoids, which I was talking about early, the carotenoids for vitamin A. It's got vitamin C in it, zinc in it, selenium. So that also contains a lot of what I've been talking about today. So like I said, I'll pop a few things on the feed to help you out if you would like to pursue taking some things.
Okay, cool. So what are the main, are there any, and would you like to share any of the main brand companies that you would recommend for vitamins and minerals?
Yes, yeah. It's like the Caribbean in this room, so I'm just going to turn the heating down. Whew. Right, okay. Yeah, I recommend Nature's Sunshine. I recommend, they're known as Lily and Loaf now. I recommend Cytoplan. I recommend Higher Nature, and I recommend Nutri. They're the main 4 companies that I constantly use.
Okay, great, thanks. Would you advise taking silver daily or only if you have a sore throat?
Oh, absolutely. Do you know what? That went right out of my head earlier with the sore throat. I knew there was one other thing for the sore throat. Gargling with salt water, absolutely. Gargling with silver and then swallowing it, fabulous. Make sure that you get a really good colloidal silver. The one I just mentioned, Nature's Sunshine, who sell through Lily and Loaf, they do a really good colloidal silver. And you can gargle, put a teaspoon in a small amount of water, stir it all up, activate it. It's good to agitate the silver in the water. But gargle, and then you can swallow that water. We've all heard of the saying, born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Yes, it did. Indicate that you were from a wealthy family. But at the time, they weren't really talking so much about wealth. They were talking about health. Born with a silver spoon in your mouth meant you're lucky. Your child isn't going to die, because most toddlers were weaned and children were fed off wooden spoons that were riddled with bacteria and germs and all kinds of horrendous things. And they were fed with a wooden spoon. But if you had money, you were fed with a silver spoon. And every time you eat from silverware, which it used to be called, which it used to be, until we all changed over to stainless steel, which has no health benefits, probably because you have to spend hours cleaning silver. But anyway, fantastic to eat off silverware, because every time you do, little particles of silver are going into your body and keeping nasty things at bay, because they're like, silver's like a magnet. Stick to it and get out of your body. Fabulous.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so another kind of practitioner question, and it's like, can we use this attendance as CPD?
I don't see why not.
That's from Jilly.
Don't see why not at all, Jilly. Is that Jilly Newham?
Doesn't have her surname.
Okay. So hi, Jilly. If you're Jilly Newham, I know you, but it could be any other Jilly. Hi.
Okay, so people saying amazing info. Thank you, Claire. Thank you for everything you're sharing. And Jilly says, yep, it is her. Hi.
Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to be doing some more of these, so you're more than welcome to join. I'll be choosing different topics, so you're more than welcome to join me again, because I do feel it is so important at this time to remain positive mentally, chemically, physically, and energetically. Remain positive, remain empowered, because so many people are saying, what can we do? What can we do? Well, you've got a lot to do, and I hope you do it, and I hope you feel the benefits, and I hope you are protected from all kinds of nasties that happen to be about. So are we out of time now, Emma? Are we done?
Yeah, so I just wanted to get a couple. So yeah, with Jilly, she's saying, can we have some evidence? Would you be able to send an email to say that she's attended?
I certainly would.
Admin bit on there. And there was something else I just want. Oh yeah, did you know of a good company out in Spain? Because who is it? It's Sarah, sorry if I've got it wrong. Do you know a good company in Spain? The ones you said are not here.
Nature Sunshine is there.
Right. Okay. Great.
So I would definitely recommend them.
Yeah. Yeah. So everyone's just saying thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me. Lovely to see all these lovely faces and jolly me up for the day. And I hope you've been jollied up and you all feel lifted and empowered to help your own health. So I'm going to say goodbye for now and see you again soon if you'd like to join me.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Yeah, have a great day.
Bye.
Am I ending meeting for all, Emma?
Yes.
Lovely.
All right. See you later, Claire.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.